So last week we saw Ramchandraji had a sword. Although I was thinking about it, because remember I said I've never seen him with a sword. Maybe Ravana had a sword, axe. Even sword I haven't seen him with. But Ravana had come onto the battlefield, and maybe he was carrying, because and then because this is in reply to Vibhishana saying he's all decked out and got so many more things that make him more likely to win. There was a sword also. Santushta was the sword, wasn't it? Contentment. And then, charity was the axe. So there was both a sword and an axe. And then, interesting that there's a missile also. And the missile is Buddhi Shakti, which is quite poetic. So Buddhi is intellect, and Shakti means strength, right? So our intellectual strength. And usually we don't come across this term as often. So physical strength has already come earlier where it said Dhamma, right at the beginning, right? With the part of the wheels. And then we very often, even in today's world, when we're talking about mental health, and it's mental strength, but usually we're referring to mana, because it's our ability to endure, which is strength, our ability to persevere and not give up. And all of that is mind. Somebody insults us or intimidates us, and then we need that strength to be able to face them. Even that's mind. And these things we talk about often in the spiritual journey, or even in the self-developmental world. We talk about these kind of strengths very often. Mental strength usually refers to all of these kind of strengths. But here, it's very specific buddhi. So dhi, the Sanskrit word dhi, the root is intelligence. And so, I mean, it doesn't sound right in English, but like the command that a guru or a parent would use would be have some D, like have some intelligence, like use your intelligence. Maybe in English we would say use your mind, but that's not the word. The word D is very specifically intelligence. And so intelligence is it's so hard to define, isn't it? Intelligence is our ability to, one, make sense of things, and then two, come up with an appropriate response. So not just appropriate. So it would be come up with a response that would bring about, and here again the word would be used, shreyas. So many of you have been coming for a while and you'll know this word, shreyas. Shreyas is ultimate good. So example would be, so this door bangs, right? It's we had to change the requirements of the way this door is built for fire safety reasons. And so it has that thing that makes it close, which actually is counterintuitive for fire, isn't it? You would want it to stay open so you could run out, but maybe they're trying to keep the fire out. I'm not sure why, but the door will shut. Yeah? And so it took me a while to get used to it. So open the door, and then I'm not used to it shutting, bang, and it slams. It doesn't just close, it slams. So then next time, walk out, slams. By the Fourth time, keep the hand to make sure the door doesn't slam. Finish whatever I have to do, come back. Right? Because it will be like help someone press the lift for them, or hold their bag for them, or something like that. It's a hold the door, make sure it doesn't slam. This isn't Shreyas. Yeah. Shreyas would be like now what we've done. We have the buffer on the door, so it just never slams. So there's minimum effort on my side to be holding my hand out like that to make sure the door doesn't slam. And then if by church I need to balance and something, and then that door's going to slam. Yeah. So much more effort required that it's a quick fix. But Shreya says, I'm at ease and there's no possibility of failure. It's not going to slam. Yeah. Nor is it going to get damaged. So if you wedge something in, then it might scratch or something like that. So what is Shreyas? It's ultimate good in terms of, one, it works very efficiently. Two, it brings about an ease of operation. Three, like peace of mind when you're doing it. And so then you're not depleting energies and things like that. So now that's such a simple example of the door. Okay, but now think of, you say something to me, and I think, what a foolish child you are. It's going to show on my face because I am so transparent. But not everybody is going to understand. Some people are going to feel highly offended. Some people are going to get more scared of me than they already are because they're already very scared of me. So even I think it, but I don't say it, isn't Shreyas. But you didn't say it. But I know if I think something, it shows on my face. I'll also know, like with younger kids, they'll pick up on energy. And so train mind to think, looking for other things to focus on. Or even if that particular thought comes, immediately use humor. And so instead of think, what a foolish child you are, it can become, what foolish children we all are. And so now it's not a judgment. So Shreyas is finding efficient solution, which is long-term, that then leads to minimizing energy spent and ease of behavior, action, operations. Right? You're understanding? Usually Shreyas just gets translated in don't eat the unhealthy food, eat the healthy food, because long-term gain, short-term pleasure. But Shreyas is so much more than that. Shreyas says, it's good for me now. It's going to be good for me in 10 years. It's going to be good for me in 60 years. It's good for me now. It's good for everyone else. So if I come back to the door example, sure, I live here and I'm at the door saying goodbye to people ever so often. But ashram is a public place. And so all and sundry come. Well, actually, I wish more people would come. And then very often when people are in the ashram, they want to help. And so it's not that the door's now not a problem for me. It's for everyone else also, right? And they can help. The minute they come in, put the, what's that called? I don't know what's that called. Stopper? Yeah. So everybody else also benefits from it. It gives them something to do. It helps them also not have to deal with door slamming And so Shreyas is always not just good for me. It's good for everyone. So go back to me thinking you're such a foolish child. It can't be good, even for me to think that way, because then it encourages arrogance or insensitivity and judgmentalism. It's not good for the other person because then they're more scared of me or they're feeling judged or that. And so good for everyone. Yeah. And then now you can just think of more examples and more examples and more examples of how it's going to benefit everyone. Recently, Hong Kong, well, not so recently, they changed the tunnel. So at peak hour, both the tunnels are the same cost, but during the day, it's a different cost. And good for everyone. Shreyas. Yeah. Good for reducing congestion. Good for helping people get to where they want to faster. Good for those people are now making at least some money. Good for, just in every which way. Shreyas. So, Buddhi Shakti. What is intelligence? Intelligence is, I encounter, it's not even a problem, huh? Like the door slamming isn't a problem. Like I'm not being hurt or nothing, there's no slightly unpleasant. It also goes against ahimsa, but it's not a problem. Just situation. We encounter situation and then our reaction to it is Shreyas. Yeah? That's Buddhi. So Buddhi Shakti is first and foremost intelligence. Then Shakti, strength. So what will make my intelligence strong is, number one, how much knowledge I have. Because the intellect works on knowledge. Knowledge we either acquire through hearing, like you all are listening now, or reading in today's often. Then we acquire through experience. We acquire through watching. Sometimes listening isn't enough. We need to be able to see it being done. Then it's like, oh, makes so much more sense. So if I don't know what to do, I won't be able to do it. Although, based on how much knowledge we have, we need not explicitly be told what to do. Some things we can figure out. Some things we're not going to just be able to figure out. Right? For example, if you give me a new gadget, maybe not the best example because I'm not so tech savvy, but chalo, you give me a new gadget. Previous knowledge of gadgets, figure it out. Like I said, it's not a very good example. I give it to the youngsters to figure out. But doesn't mean somebody has to tell me what to do, right? Previous knowledge, then you should. But something like if somebody's talking to me in Polish, now there's nothing for me to figure out except I can read body language. And, based on body language, I can little bit guess what they're saying, but that's it. Yeah. So like with something like a language, if I don't have the knowledge, I'm going to plateau of how much I can do. Certain things, I have enough knowledge, then I can experiment and figure things out. Certain things, I have to have knowledge. So intellect. Buddhi Shakti, my strength comes from how much I know plus how much I'm able to figure out based on how much I know. It's not just how much I know. It's like that new gadget. And then my willingness to experiment and figure it out. Or new person, and this person reacted so differently. Like I cracked a joke and everybody has laughed at this joke for the last 15 years. And now this person and I crack joke and they look at me like, whoa, what happened here? Did I deliver it wrong? No, no, no. Maybe cultural difference, maybe personality difference, maybe bad timing, maybe. So you figure it out, right? Even if I don't know what it is, I can still figure it out. So this is the first Buddhi Shakti is this ability, one, to have already the knowledge, and then two, the ability to figure it out, which we can club together. Then the second component of Buddhi Shakti is speed. So especially with people, you can't like kind of say, just wait, and then sit there and ponder. We need to be able to think fast, act fast. Yeah. Then there's going to be plenty of situations where we can, like, let me get back to you, and that will work. But there's going to be lots of situations where that's not going to work. You can think of a surgeon while operating. Cannot sit there and think. Yeah, have to act fast. Or, firefighter. And then in your life, there'll be plenty of situations, even if you're not a surgeon or a firefighter, where you have to act fast then there, both in work and in relationships. And so the ability to think fast when needed, not necessarily always, right? But when needed, the ability to think fast. And then even when not needed, if I think fast, I'm saving so much time and energy. And then it's done, and then there's ease, right? And then the third component of Buddhi Shakti is alertness. So when we think of the word D, and actually D is also, we're going to be celebrating Diwali next week, and it's that celebration of light and that illuminous and this effulgent. And all of that comes in with the word D, this brightness of person. It's like, like when we get an idea and our face lights up. Literally, right? You can see it in a person, like they'll be blurred and and their face lights up. And it's that effulgence and it's that brilliance. And it's the most illuminous part of us is our intelligence. Mind, next, body is not illuminous. It's jada. Although, if you use enough, you can shine. Parachute oil. You will shine. Y'all thought I was going to make fun of cosmetics. Cannot be predictable. Have to have game. Body cannot shine, right? It's Jada Vastu. Mind can, but actually sattva is more intellect. Because the very nature of sattva is knowledge. And the very nature of sattva is this alertness. Now, alertness sounds like, like pay attention, and then tension. No. Alert, it's attentiveness and it's awareness. It's like when parents are watching their kids perform. So attentive. But there's no danger. You're just engaged. And so attentiveness is, there's no urgency of it. There's wanting to. And so it's such a crucial component of buddhi because attentiveness is what leads to intelligence. So in schools or teacher-student relationship, pay attention. So otherwise, what will you learn? You're not learning, you're not paying attention. But we're not in, it's not that I have to listen to you kind of attention that leads to knowledge. It's me, when I observe attentively, just so many things. So many things. Like nobody will have to tell you because you'll just see it. Like if you leave the wick hanging out too much, then there won't be one puddle of oil underneath the diya. No, nobody had to come and teach me. Don't make the wick hang out too much. Puddle of oil already told me, oh, if I leave the wick out, it's extra work cleaning, wastage of oil. Attentiveness, awareness. Next time I light the diya, pull the wick back down. Just that figuring it out happens when there is attentiveness. And I think I've given this example before also. I'd walk into all these lovely 5-star hotels in Hong Kong, and they'll have these humongous flower displays, which of course would catch my attention. And then, oh, this color really works with this color. This shape flower really works with this shape flower. And if it's designer because it's in a 5-star hotel, then it's definitely good enough for Krishna. So much of figuring it out happens by attentiveness. So much of understanding happens with attentiveness. So you know somebody, you meet them a few times, and then you learn their telltale signs. Of whatever, they're in bad mood. Don't bring up this topic. There's this one couple who told me that she would be really cranky and she wouldn't realize she would be being cranky. And then her husband would give her a banana to eat or a milk drink to eat. And she'd be like, oh. And then she'd start eating it and she'd realize she was hungry. And then she'd realize she was cranky. And he was like, he didn't want to have to deal with her crankiness, so he just gave her food. And after a while, he realized that this happens on a very regular basis. And so, like, cereal bars were kept in his backpack, and his Shreyas. She's cranky. She's going to say something. If he's also cranky, he's going to say something, and there's going to be one big fight. And why? If I give her cereal bar, sight, totally avoided, her mood improves. We can have a lovely afternoon. Just attentive. Figuring things out. Just Buddhi Shakti is this living in awareness, living in alertness. Now, so it's all around us with functioning in the world because we have to do so many things, right? We have to keep our surroundings clean. We have to earn our bread and butter. We have to groom ourselves and look presentable. We have to be in relationships and navigate all the giving and the getting and the comparing and all of that. And so attentiveness gets us through all of that. So much of our lives is just all of that. I have to do this, people management. But attentiveness is significantly more important with myself. I have met many, many, many people who are brilliant in whatever career path they have chosen. And sometimes it's not even a career path, it's a hobby. And they like so incredibly talented, efficient. And then about themselves, blind. Cannot see. So, and then I have to very delicately say, it's possible you were a bit stressed. No, I'm not stressed. People get stressed. Just, nature of working, being in this world. No, I'm not stressed. Oh. Like sometimes it's blind because denial. And sometimes because this attentiveness is so focused on desire and getting what I want. And then it's very skewed to outside world. Our attentiveness to what I'm feeling is not so hard. Most of us know what we're feeling. Not everybody, and not all the time do we know what we're feeling. And so attentive to what we're feeling, what we're thinking. And then, why? Why are we feeling this way? This understanding of why is to be able to see sequence of events. And remember intelligence? Intelligence is action happens and I am able to come up with the reaction that is the greatest good. Sequence of events. And so for me as well, in my understanding of myself, Buddhi, not only do I like attentiveness, I am feeling time. Why? Oh, it's been a long day. No, every day is 24 hours. You're laughing, but it's true. I had more to do today. No. Plenty days where you party very hard doing lots of things. So then, why are you tired? Attentive. Be attentive. Sequence of events will also have to do with sequence of thoughts. Sometimes it is physical events. Okay? Sometimes it was overstimulation, whether it be in a social setting or gadget setting. Or overthinking will definitely make us tired. Somebody insulted me. Makes me exhausted. Why? Because I replay it and replay it and replay it and then try to come up with counters of why it's not true. And I'm defending myself with great gusto to nobody else except myself. And then, so tired. You're laughing, but it's true. So why am I tired? Somebody insulted. No, plus how much I thought about it. I remember this one person, and she asked me, tell me honestly, what do you think about XYZ, right? And I said, okay, since you asked honestly, I don't think it's very good. No, it's excellent. I'm like, you're right. She is zero tired at the end of her day. Because insult was water off a back's duck. Not even insult, constructive criticism. But insult another person and oh my God, those full, like that Crash Landing on Me, 5 seasons of 21 episodes. All goes on in our head within a span of 2 hours. So much drama in my head. Thank you for laughing. I love when people laugh. So what am I saying? Buddhi is attentiveness. And I must be attentive from the world outside because intelligence is from observing world outside, but far more important. But don't neglect outside. Not that I observe only inside, because then I won't understand what's going on inside. Usually inside is reaction to outside. So observe outside and inside. But am I feeling tired? And I didn't even choose sad or angry or jealous, huh? I chose tired, which is like such a non-confrontational thing to feel. Totally socially acceptable to feel tired. And yet it could be related to my reacting to somebody's comments. That might not be the only reason I'm tired, huh? That might be just the reason I'm tired today. Yeah. 2 days ago, I was tired, and what was the reason? Why? So attentiveness is very important. What am I feeling? And why? And the why will always be linked to sequence of events. And so Buddhi, intelligence, is a very good understanding of sequence of events. Like what leads to what? Like when they play that pool game. Those, what's it called? It's called pool, don't you? No funky name for it? Billions. Huh. Then they hit here and then it hits there and then that hits there and then that one hits there and then twing, that one goes there. Right? And then sometimes if the player is really good, it will hit there, hit there, hit there, hit there, and 3 go into the pool, into that, where they're supposed to go. Sequence. Doesn't mean A will lead to B and then B will lead to C and C will lead. No. That's not how life works. It's like billiards. Oh, but how are you going to know what happened? You just saw the number 4 ball go into the net. How? It had to be attentiveness. Now you see how important attentiveness is, because it's not going boing, boing. No, it's not a bunny hopping. It's the world is described as chaos theory, right? But chaos isn't random. There's sequences. And so intelligence, and it doesn't matter what other intelligence you have. We all have many, many different intelligence. You can have music intelligence or spatial intelligence or numbers intelligence or people intelligence or and tech intelligence and movement. It doesn't matter what other intelligence you have to have this intelligence. Which one? Sequence. Otherwise, we won't understand ourselves. And we don't understand big picture. And big picture is where intelligence really thrives. We need to go into the details also, right? To make sure each detail is good and efficient and well done. But that understanding, remember understanding and knowledge base, that's from big picture. And then, so always, and you see this in the way that the Vedas teach. They'll always give you a big picture first. First verse of the Gita is, wise men don't grieve. Huh? Means you should just permanently be happy. Wow. And then they go, karma yoga, then bhakti yoga, then Jnana Yoga, then big picture first. Even every Upanishad, big picture first. Ishavasya Idagam Sarvam. The whole world is that one divine truth. There is a power behind our eyes, our ears, our nose. First verse. And then explain. We in the West, we do it ulta. We start A, B, and then go big picture. And so this is true for when you are a child. But as adults, learning happens better, big picture. Then you zoom in wherever you need to zoom in. Because some things you won't need to zoom into. Some things you'll need to zoom into. And even to know where to zoom in, big picture. D. What is D? All of this. Intelligence. It's such a simple word, but it's not at all. It's so potent. And so remember, this is the most powerful part of us. Why do I say that? Because the law is what is subtle is more powerful and more pervasive. Pervasive also we'll need to look at a little bit, but subtle and more powerful. So example will be something like the axe or the sword or a hammer. And so it's gross. It will hit only here, right? But something like radiation, subtle, fills the whole room. And then atomic energy, so subtle, can reach so far. So in this, you can see what is more subtle is more pervasive and more powerful. So radiation is way more damaging than hammer can be damaging. And then atomic energy far more damaging than even radiation. More powerful. It works in positive way as well. I just can't think of a positive example right now. So body is our grossest equipment. And so it is our least powerful. Subtler than body is mind. Mind is more powerful than body, which we know because mind is dictating to us pretty much what we do all day long. Eat this, don't eat this, talk to this one, don't talk to this one. All that's mind, right? Our general vibe will be mind. But intellect is more subtle than mind. And so intellect is far more powerful than mind and far more pervasive than mind. And so if you remember Tattva Bodh, if you've done Tattva Bodh, the mind can only think about what it already knows. Now, it's the intellect that has creativity and can think about what we don't know. So remember that figuring things out? I don't know it yet. And that's happening in intellect, not in mind. Mind will do only what it's always done. And then we don't change. And so for us to change, it has to go to intellect. For us to be able to think differently from what we've already been thinking. And so growth and change happens in intellect, that figuring out. And creativity of out of box. Pushing myself to think completely out of the box. And so then, so mind will only do what's known. And so I've been thinking that way. And so I keep thinking that way. And then intellect will have knowledge of what even everyone else has been doing. So let's say during COVID, India did it this way, and China did it that way, and then America did it that way, and then London decided, leave it, just open the borders, let everyone come. And this one did it this way. And then Now, which way am I going to do it? Not that I'm a country, but let's pretend. Out of the box, different from what even everybody else has done, is intellect. So different to what has already existed, intellect. So just different from me and my past, intellect, different from what exists in the world all over, intellect, out of the box thing. And so it's so much more powerful because change happens there, problem solving happens there. And it can happen in leaps. And because it's more powerful, it's more pervasive, right? So what my body does stays at the level of body. What my mind does stays at the level of mind and body. What intellect does pervades intellect, mind, body, and vasanas. Well, what mind does creates vasanas. What intellect does can resolve vasanas, dissolve vasanas. So intellect is incredibly powerful because it can change the trajectory of where I am heading. Not just this lifetime, but next lifetime. Whereas mine is just building layer by layer by layer of vasanas. Buddhi is a missile. Means it's so much far reaching. Axe and hammer were short. Close combat. And you wouldn't think they had missiles, but actually verses like this makes us think that they probably did. They were probably far more developed than we assume they were. Because anyways, Ravana had an airplane, which could grow to, like, you know how we have suitcases that can grow? His airplane could grow. And it's just a matter of time when they can invent something like that, right? They already had it. And so potentially they could have already had missiles also, because it's right here that it's a missile. What is a missile? Buddhi Shakti. And so every other quality you have seen is, something we dwell on and work on and practice. And then here we see Buddhi Shakti it's so far reaching. And that's why I said it's actually very poetic that Buddhi Shakti is the missile. Okay, so we didn't read the verse. Ishana bhajana sarati sujana. Birati charma santosha kripana. Dana parasu buddhi shakti prachanda. Bara vigyana katina kodanda. Now danda is the bow. Kodandarama, right? He's described as one with this bow. So this is the weapon we know him to usually have. And then again, quite the poetic. The knowledge of the self. So the scriptural knowledge. So, I mean, you're already listening, so I don't have to praise scriptural knowledge and sell it to you. So the arrows will be seen next, but scriptural knowledge here being so if you think about the weapon of bow and arrow, the bow stays steady. And then using that steady base of the bow, we shoot the arrows. Okay? And so this analogy that is an echo from Mundaka Upanishad. So there's Mandukya Upanishad and there's Mundaka Upanishad. And in Mundaka Upanishad, this analogy is given. It's slightly different in the Mundaka Upanishad. It's given that Om is the bow and our minds are the arrows. And Brahman is the target. So we have to use the bow of Om to shoot our mind to get to Brahman. And so this one is a little bit of an echo of that, where it's saying a pure and steady mind is the quiver, not the arrow, and the arrows are peacefulness. So we'll use this example, but just to let you know that the wider analogy is echoed in the scriptures. Just like earlier, also we saw the sword of contentment, and in the Gita, it's the sword of dispassion. Themes in poetry. Self-knowledge. At the risk of sounding like all those people who just say my religion's better, I'm going to say what I have to say. And if you don't agree, that's okay. The Vedas have this whole section which is do this, don't do this. And to varying degrees, right? Like somebody asked me today, is it true that you're not supposed to keep murtis in your kitchen? I'm like, oh. Baby, I think it's fine. God is everywhere. He's in the kitchen too. You know, people who have restaurants will keep, because you want to oversee that. And you know, for Saraswati Puja, we have to worship even all the knives, pots, pans, and all of that. So I think it's cool. No, some astrologer told me I shouldn't keep mortals in it. I'm like, you have to choose who you're going to listen to. But there'll be so many, like, you know, wear this color, wear this thread, wear this. That's all there. And to that extent, if you want a to-do list, it's there. You don't want that to-do list. It's all too cumbersome. Yeah. Okay. Then we have to-do lists about do your duty, and do your japa, surrender to Bhagwan, and cultivate all these virtues. This to-do list, okay. It's not telling me to wear one color on one particular day and telling me to walk on the side of the road. That's a bit too much. Some people want, you do. That to-do list is there. Some people don't want so much details. This to-do list is there. This to-do list is it. This to-do list is in pretty much a lot of religions. Yeah. The virtues, the values. Have respect for the elders. Have faith in God. I don't think there's a single religion that won't say that. Have faith in God. In fact, AI has produced this. Now, not everything AI says is true. So I'm not quoting this because it's true. There might be other factors as well. But it has said that there are only 2 points that is common in all religions, or the 3 main ones. We're considering ourselves to be the main ones. Judaism, Christianity, Islam, right? Us. This is true. They said in every single religion, creation is associated with word sound. Right? So like in the Bible, it says, first there was the word, and the word was God, and the word was with God. And in the Quran also it says that the first thing is Allah said, I think it's the word by. But creation starts with Allah saying something. In Hinduism, creation starts with Om. And then Judaism follows the Old Testament, so it's First there was the word. The second thing that every religion says is have faith. For sure, every religion says have faith. Now, does every religion have something else in common? Might. It might have something more, but this AI says only these two are the only two things that are in common. I don't know if they're the only two things, but have faith. Other religions don't have. Sit quietly, meditate. It's there in the Vedas. Sit quietly and meditate. Every religion will have. Be kind. Respect other people. Do the right thing. But they don't have. Sit quietly. Meditate. Meditate on what? Here, from all the religions that say sit quietly and meditate. Then you're looking now at Jainism, Buddhism, Zoroastrianism. There might be one or two. Hinduism, Sikhism, Hinduism. They're the ones that will say, sit quietly and meditate. They won't tell you on what. Even Sikhism, actually, when it says sit quietly and meditate, they say on Ra. Who's saying to meditate on Ra? Sikhism. Interesting, no? Buddhism will say, make your mind empty. And then it's empty now. Empty mind means there's no mind. If you do it correctly, you'll reach the state of Brahman. Or you'll reach the state of nothingness, which isn't Brahman. Vedas are so clear. Meditate on infinite, all-pervading, divine essence. Meditate on essence. Meditate on truth. Nowhere else it's so clear. We're so blessed. To have this knowledge. Because nowhere else it's so clear. So many people might be so sincerely wanting to do the right thing, but it's not clear what's the right thing. So blessed to have such clear instructions. So it gives you that steadiness. Yeah. So what is self-knowledge in our everyday life? What does it look like? You may or may not be living it, but this is what it should look like. You're really young and you're going to school and life stuff. Yes, school is very difficult, but don't worry, beta, you are Brahman. Bhagwan is there. Bhagwan is all powerful. Whichever bully is bullying you in school is not as powerful as Bhagwan. You hold on to Bhagwan. Very good. Now they become the bully because now they are teenagers. Life became even more complicated because, you know, now there's hormones and there's so much this and there's so much that. And then how to know? Then don't worry. Doesn't matter. who you like and who you don't like, and who likes you and who doesn't like you, because you are Brahman. Whether people like you or not, Bhagwan is more powerful than all the people who don't like you and all the people who like you. So you hold on to Bhagwan. Teenage, that's our endless preoccupation, right? Then you get over that and you now finish college. Need a job, need a job, need a job, need a job. What should I do? What's my purpose? How will I feel job satisfaction? Doesn't matter what you do. Whatever you're doing, you do it as a seva to Bhagwan. Because whatever job you do is so small. Bhagwan's actually doing everything. Like all those Gopabalas who put their sticks to hold the Govardhan mountain, saying, Krishna, we're helping you. That's all up. Whatever job you have, whether you are the CEO of a multinational company, or you are the janitor, or you are doctor, teacher, lawyer, it's so small. Bhagwan's the one that's actually taking care of everyone. You do your job as best as you can. And hold on to Bhagwan. Then they get even older, then they get married, and then they have kids of their own. How to bring up these kids? You grew up now. Who took care of you your whole life? Bhagwan. Bhagwan will take care of you. This is how it's supposed to translate. What translates this? Bow of self-knowledge. You can say to yourself every stage of you are Brahman. Bow of self-knowledge. Or you can remind yourself from a bhakti point of view, every stage of your life, Bhagwan's always bigger. Bhagwan's always doing more. I have to have faith. I have to surrender. And remember, every stage I said, I have to do the best I can. That's this bow of self-knowledge. Figure out whatever else you have to figure out, whether it be career or whether it be parenting or whether it be planning your dinner. Doesn't matter. Do it knowing that. Ultimately, I'm Brahman and none of this matters. So why am I doing it all? So that I can get to Brahman. And if I am Brahman is too much of a stretch for my mind, okay, never mind. You be devotee then. Ultimately, everything belongs to Bhagwan. Me also, I belong to Bhagwan. So doing the best I can, leaving it to Bhagwan. Self-knowledge. So every other religion will give you the devotional aspect. Vedas give us, I am Brahman, which is the leap that we have to make in meditation. Because if I stay devotee only, which is a good thing, better than being asura and badmash. Be devotee. But we don't want to stay devotee. We want to go back to our nature of Brahman. Okay, we pause here. Any questions? Sarve bhavantu sukhilah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit prabhat bhavet, asato ma satgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma mritangamaya, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate
Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari